Hello everyone, today's video is going to be my makeup inventory for 2025. I am in this weird little situation because I tried to film this earlier and that was my face. So I kind of had to move over here a little bit, and I also wanted to put my photos up here, but this is my makeup inventory video. I do these videos every 6 months. So this is obviously for January, and then I do it around June or July in the middle of the year. This past year, I did it in July, so I'm going to compare my numbers from the day ago because I'm filming this on January 2nd. I'm comparing January 1st numbers to July 1st numbers. I also want to preface that if you are interested in any of the products that are photoed here, back in November, I recently did a entire inventory playlist. I went through every single collection or every single category in my collection, and I did videos on all of them. Mini reviews, swatches, all of it. All of that's going to be in my inventories and collections playlist, and I will of course link that down below. So in that playlist is all those collection videos. I went in depth for everything. And you also see all my makeup inventory posts in there and things of that nature. So if you enjoy this type of content, I highly recommend you go check out that playlist linked down below. This is all of the pictures and also all of the numbers for January 1st of 2026. I think I said 2025 earlier. It is the beginning of the year. We have some adjusting to do. First things first, face primer. So 6 months ago, I had 4. Now I have 8, so I doubled it. I added it by 4. And as you can see in the photo, is these glowy sort of products. These have been introduced into my collection this past 6 months, quarter, whatever. I threw them in my face primer category. These are not products that I use in any way, shape, or form other than a primer step. So I threw them in face primers. So the milk one is almost done, and then 3 of them is those glowy sort of products. So they're not really a primer. I'm trying to use them up, and they're mini sizes, so they really shouldn't take too long. Actually, only 3 of these is full size, and the Milk Hydro Grip is on its way out. So I am not worried about this category. I think it is under control, and I do have a primer coming in. I did do an order on January 1st. So there will be another primer. It is going to be a mini primer, but it's going to be a primer nonetheless, but the Milk Hydro Grip should be done by then. I'm not too worried about this category at all. Next is concealer. I do my concealer before my foundation. 6 months ago, I had 2, and now I have 3. I really enjoy all of these concealers that I have, and they've all been repurchased for me. I have used them up and I've repurchased them in the past. If you have any drugstore concealer recommendations, leave them down below, because once I get done with these, I would love to try out some more. This category did grow by 1, but I am not worried about it. Next, we have foundations. So 6 months ago, I had 6. Now I have 5. And that means I have decreased by 1. In this, I think to myself, I really only have 3 real foundations. The 2 liquid at the top is Too Faced Born This Way in the Clover Serum Foundation. And then I have a cushion foundation. I put my mixing pigment in my foundation category because I solely use it as a foundation mixing product. So that has been in my collection for years. I'm about halfway done with it. It's a very utilitarian sort of product for me, and I enjoy having it for when I need it, but I don't really count that as a true foundation. And then I have a powder foundation, which is from Sydney Grace. I've never had a powder foundation before like that, and I really wanted to try it out, and that is a powder, so I am not worried with it going bad or anything, and it is a darker shade for me, so I really can only get away with it wearing it in the summertime. I am glad this did decrease by 1. There is a couple foundations that I am curious about and that I would like to try, but I would like to potentially finish that Clover one first. Next is face powder. So 6 months ago I had 3, now I have 5. So I added an additional 2. But if you think about it, the 2 that I added that little tiny MCO Beauty, like it's the size of an eyeshadow. Like that is like next to nothing powder, but I threw it in the powder category because that's technically what it is. And I do use it like underneath my eyes. I think it's a really nice powder. Essence powder is going to be finished definitely this year. The Morphe powder, I do not count as a setting powder. It's more of a finishing powder. So it's in the same category, but I use it for a different purpose. So I really am not too concerned with the powder category. And then also powder doesn't really get me excited. So I kind of, once I have one, I don't need more, you know what I mean? I'm not excited for new powder releases or anything. So I am not worried about this number, although it gained by 2. Next, I have some cheek products. So I have my blush numbers. So 6 months ago, I had 19. Now I have 18, which means I subtracted 1 blush from my collection. That is really exciting. I did declutter some. I definitely brought in a couple. I have finished 2 blushes. You will see in my empties video. I do try and go through my collection. What is disappointing to me in this photo, though, is the 2 rows to the left are my powder cheek products, my powder blushes, and then anything to the right of that, anything under those gold boxes and down, those are all cream cheek products, cream blushes. I don't like the amount of creams and liquids I have versus powder. Powder is not going to go bad as quickly as these creams are, and creams is just not my preferred method of madness for blush. That is the only thing I am a little disappointed in, but I am trying to finish some of those. I do have quite a few of those in my plan to pan. I'm also going to continue my Project 10 uses, which has helped me rotate my blushes. Next is bronzer. 6 months ago, I had 5 bronzers. Now I currently have 4 bronzers, so I decreased by 1. Makes me very excited. I have 3 powder, 1 cream. The 1 powder has a gigantic pan in it. I really tried to pan it this year and it didn't happen. I have 1 mini, and then I really like that NYX Buttermilk bronzer. I'm thinking that all my Sydney Grace cream products are not going to last the entire year. That is just my prediction. So I really do not enjoy cream and liquid bronzers, highlighters. Like I feel like it's just a lot on my cheeks. I'm fine with cream blush because I use a cream or a powder, but I feel like cream bronzer and cream blush is just a little too much for me. I really want to try the Fenty bronzer in the Sun. I really want to try that one, but I really should not be adding any more bronzer, but I did decrease by 1, which is really fun. Highlighter, I increased. I'm sorry. So 6 months ago, I had 7, and this update, I have 9. So I did increase by 2. I was doing so good. For many years, I was either remaining the same amount of highlights or I was decreasing in highlights, which I have added 3 to my collection this year, which is the Makeup Revolution one, and then I have 2 Kaleidos ones that I got as like a friend declutter. Lorac highlighter is extremely close. I say that it would take me an entire year to finish it still. I like highlighter, I do. It's just not a product that like I feel like I need to have a million times over. These are all kind of versions of champagne, it seems like. I think my highlighter collection is manageable, under control. I only have 2 creams, and they're both those Sydney Grace ones. And talking about my blush, bronzer, and highlights, anything that is a single goes in its own category, blush, bronzer, highlight. If it is a duo or larger, it gets thrown into my face palette category. And the same goes for eyeshadow. If I got an eyeshadow duo, anything a duo or larger counts as an eyeshadow palette, but face palettes. I also include anything that is like my Sydney Grace. Technically, they're single blushes, they're magnetic, but I put them in a palette. Their home is the palette. So I do have 2 Z palettes with Sydney Grace products in it. The yellow one is all my powders. The white one is my 2 creams. That's 2 different palettes, but I decreased by 1. 6 months ago, I had 8 face palettes. Now I have 7 face palettes. And I would have had 8, except I had one like expire on me while I was actively taking my photos. It was my one cream palette, but there was having some like white to cream palette, which makes sense. But it looked like it was going bad, and I don't risk it for the biscuit. So the only cream products in this photo are those Sydney Grace 2, the one that's a highlight and one that's a blush, which honestly I should really be using those more often. But I'm very glad that this decreased by 1. I'm not a big face palette wearer anyway. I got a lot of use out of these this past year because I put them in my wheel for Project 10 uses. The last face category is going to be my setting sprays. This is another product I use like water, literally. Like, I am not worried about this increasing. So setting sprays, I used to have 2 6 months ago. I currently have 5, which means I increased by 3. Setting spray, I'm not too worried about. I currently have open the Iconic London and the LA Girl Pro Perfect. The LA Girl one is about, I don't know, more than halfway gone. Like, that one's going to be gone in a couple months. Some of these other ones are travel size and minis. I am not worried about the setting spray category. And honestly, if I look at my total face products category here, January of 26, I had 64 face products. So that is base, complexion, all that, plus the cheek powders. And back 6 months ago, I had 56. So I increased by 8, but where I increased at for the most part was face primers and setting sprays. And I really am not bothered by increasing those categories because I use them up so incredibly quickly. So I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered by it whatsoever. Brow products, I had 3 6 months ago. I currently have 3. I have 1 pomade and I have 2 brow gels. 1 is in use and 1 is still in the box. Brows are not a problem category for me. I use what I have until I need a new one, so I am not bothered by this whatsoever. Next is eyeliners. So with eyeliners, I used to have 12 6 months ago, and I currently have 13 in my collection. And that means I increased by 1. I am okay with increasing my eyeliner collection. It is something that brings me joy. It is something that is fun to me. I'd like to add it to my looks for a little pop and pizzazz. And then I also am one of those people that does a winged eyeliner every single day. So I do have an entire Matte Beauty like water activated palette. I count that entire palette as one eyeliner, not each individual pan, because let's face it, I will never pan it. And it is one physical product. I have 1 unopened liner that I got for Christmas. And then my liquid eyeliner that I am currently using is from Shop Miss A. And then I have a NYX Vivid Brights blue eyeliner. I am keeping that until it technically is expired. I'm sure it is technically expired. Until it goes bad, until it dries up. I'm keeping it till then. I really don't use it. Anything that is horizontal is a pencil eyeliner. So I have a brown, I have a black, I have a dark blue, and then everything downward are my fun NYX Epic Wear eyeliner sticks. I love those eyeliners to pieces. I do prefer to have an eyeliner that I can sharpen because I feel like it doesn't go bad as quickly. Next is mascara. So 6 months ago I had 3 and now I currently have 4, which I did increase by 1. This category, it doesn't really matter how many I have. I have had like 10 mascaras on backup before because all I care about is how many is currently open and active. So I have 2 open and active mascaras. It is my first Wrap Lash and my MCO Beauty. The last 2 that are still in the box, still in the packaging, those ones are in my backup. Those have not been opened. But for these number sakes, I really only have 2 open and then I only have 2 unopened. So for me, it doesn't matter how many is in my unopened category because all I care about is how many is actually open and in use, because I only like to use at max 2 mascaras at a time. So currently I use my wrap lash on my tops, and then I use the MCO Beauty on the bottom. Now I have my single eyeshadows. So single eyeshadows, I used to have 11, now I have 13. That is because I have increased by 2, and both of those are from About Face. It was like a free gift with purchase from Ulta. But other than that, these are the same ones that I've had for quite a long time. I don't see myself really finishing many of these. These are just in my life. Like, I don't really sought out after them or anything. Like, they're just fine. They're fine when they're there. I don't really go out and purchase these items. I don't get really excited for these sorts of items, but I use them when they get rolled in to my Project 10 uses, and that's really about it. Let's talk about eyeshadow palettes. So you can see the start of my eyeshadow palettes here. I had 74 eyeshadow palettes 6 months ago, and I currently have 81. So I increased by 7, and I'm gonna say most of that came from friend mail. I have gotten, and am so blessed for, all my friends here on YouTube that have sent, or on Instagram. I've met pretty much all of them on Instagram and not on YouTube, but I watch them on YouTube too. But I am so appreciative of all of the people on Instagram who have, you know, sent me palettes this past year. I'm extremely grateful, but I have increased by 7 in the last 6 months. I don't really feel overwhelmed at the moment. I don't really feel like I have to use certain things. I will never hit triple digits. I tell you right now, never in my life will I hit triple digits. I don't want to hit triple digits. When I hit triple digits, I am purging. I am purging big time. There is no reason for me to have triple digits. But 81, there is definitely some of the chopping block, which I will make a video about. But yeah, I feel like I'm pretty okay with 81, and I didn't show them all out on my floor or anything. I just took a photo of the bookshelf. That's all I did. Total eye products, January 2026, I have a total, present tense, have a total of 116 makeup products. Back in July of 2025, I had 106 makeup products, which means I increased by 10. Most of that was the palettes. This category always increases because of the palettes. So far, we've added 8 to the face category. We have added 10 to the eye product category. So I'm just going to let you guys know right now the total lip products I've increased by 2. This is someone that doesn't really wear much lip products. So I have currently 28 different lip products, and back in July I had 26. Lipstick is a category that I don't use. I really don't enjoy it. I don't really use it. And this category needs to go, I don't know, somewhere. Something has to happen to this category. But lipsticks actually has grown. So I had 12 6 months ago. I currently have 13, which means I added 1. I want to tell you guys this. I really don't purchase any lip products. None of these I went out and purchased specifically because I wanted them. The Fancy Cosmetica ones, as much as I love them, I got them on a mystery box. The MAC and the Baby Juvia's Place at the top, those were both free gift with purchases. Cosmic brushes, those 2 gold ones on the bottom, they came in a like box set that I got for Christmas. The Thrive, the pink lips, those ones came in a FabFitFun. Fun. Or pink lips, I think, came in a BoxyCharm. It's pretty old. Color Pops that are next door, those all came in a mystery box. And then the About Face was a free gift with purchase. I have not gone out specifically for any of these lip products, which I think is crazy to me, and I added 1. And I think it's About Face 1. Lipstick is anything in a stick. So if it's sheer, if it's not sheer, whatever. If it's in a stick, it's in there. This is my lip gloss category. So I don't separate oils, glosses, lip treatments, all of that. I don't do it. Lip gloss. I used to have 10 6 months ago. I currently have 11, so I did add 1. Anything that is like colored, I add into this. So I do have some like clear lip treatment balm things elsewhere. Like, I have one at my desk at work. I have one of them in my bathroom. Like, I have like a lip sleeping mask sort of situation. Anything that is like a colored sort of product I keep in here. Except that MCO Beauty one is clear. You know, we all make mistakes somewhere. So if we want to take out that clear one, the only colored lip products I have, colored lip glosses, I still only have 10. But I know I like to pick and choose what sort of lip glossy product stays in my categories here. So as it stands right now in the photo, I have 11. I did add one. I do want to try and use up some of these so I can decrease my gloss numbers. Lipstick is anything that's in a stick. This is my liquid lipstick / lip stain. So these are products that are a lipstick type, but it is in a doe foot applicator. So I have a liquid lipstick from Odin's Eye. I have this Luxe Velvet lip product thing from ColourPop, and then I have 2 e.l.f. glossy lip stains. Luckily, I have not increased by anything. So these were the same 4 I had 6 months ago, and it's the same 4 I have now. So I have done nothing to this category. The Odin's Eye liquid lipstick, as much as I love it, I really don't know how much longer it'll last. I'm trying to finish one of the e.l.f. lip stain things. I'm not mad at this category whatsoever, but I'm very happy that these have not gone up, and hopefully by the time I do my next inventory, it would have gone down. But those are all my inventory photos. Those are all my inventory numbers. So I really hope you guys enjoyed seeing the chaoticness of this video. Like I said, down below is going to be my collections and inventories playlist. If you so please to watch, I would greatly appreciate it. If you enjoy makeup related content, specifically eyeshadow palette content, some makeup commentary, project panning, those are the types of videos that I produce here on YouTube for free for you all. So I highly recommend you subscribe. Make sure you like and hype this video so more people can find it. And comment down below, what are some of your problem categories? I don't want to feel alone in some of my categories. Also, how many eyeshadow palettes do you have? And like, how do you like figure that number out? Because I am just a hobby YouTuber. Like, I would have had these palettes in my collection if I was a YouTuber or not. Like, I really don't get PR. I've only ever gotten PR from Nomad, 1 palette, and then I want to give away, which I don't really count because anyone could have won that. So I really have only 1 palette that was PR. For all of my makeup enthusiasts and my hobbyists out there, how many eyeshadow palettes do you have? Because I don't want to make myself feel like I'm such a horrible person for having 80 shadow palettes. I love and appreciate you guys all so much, and I shall see you guys next time.